Welcome to OddStop-Workshop's 2017 garden. This is going to be a sample of what we've been doing for the past 3 weeks, getting ready for the upcoming season. This is our usual tomatoes, squash, peppers. We'll go over more of the types of plants in more depth as the season goes on. Our first year doing potatoes, we picked a purple variety. The yellow, purple, and green beans, along with the cucumbers. Here are 5 types of tomatoes in earth buckets, which I do intend on making a video on, so stay tuned for that. Potatoes, and more potatoes. I decided to use 2 buckets here and zip tie them together, and that way I get twice the height. More experimenting with potatoes. Why not in a little bucket? Why not in another bucket? Alright, now the prize of the garden, the tomatoes. These are 3 weeks old. I like to go from the small that you saw to the medium here before they hit the dirt. That way I can bring them in the garage if we have another late freeze. The earlier you can start your tomato plants, the better. And off to the garden. Here I'm getting some help from my son to lay down that first row of tomatoes. This is the box we've been using for 4 seasons now. Last year we decided to paint it. The same box 2 seasons ago. This year we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to trellis half of the tomatoes out of the box. I will still use the cages that I've made from the previous years out of welded wire, but like I said, just trying something new. Here we've got my son helping out again. I just had to leave this part in. I'm using rebar to reinforce the hoops and give them stability and strength. Always finding a rock in the ground. I must have moved this thing 3 times. That's also one of the reasons why we have raised beds. So here I've gotten out a spool of wire and started to attach the rebar to the panel. Let's move over to the next box and start planting some peppers. This is one thing I can't wait to show you guys, is how big and how much production you get out of a little square, a cinder block hole. It's surprising. They do really well. The last cinder block square that we had filled was a pepper plant. This is going to be a cherry tomato, a sweet 100. This is an example of the same cinder block last season. And now we'll get a sweet banana pepper in the other side. So in that last section I got that sweet banana pepper in the other square. I think this banana pepper we will go ahead to the other box that's prepped and ready. That way we can take a comparison between cinder block and open garden. And since I put that pepper in, I just went and grabbed the other remainder that was coming over here. This here is a lemon boy. It is a full-size yellow tomato. This one here is a black crim tomato. It had 2 of them in the container, so I separated them and put one here, and later I'll pick the other one up and put it somewhere else. And the last tomato in this box is a Mr. Stripey. And moving into the large tomato box is a Cherokee Purple. One of the most important things after planting is to water in your plants. You want to be sure and give them a pretty good soaking. Okay, we're going to wind down this video with some samples from previous seasons and hopefully what we can look forward to in this season. Here's the squash and the zucchini, the flying saucer, and the 14-foot tall tomato plants. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our preview of the 2017 garden, and if you did, be sure and check out our update videos. Coming soon.